Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny Mull, and welcome to today's message about godly wisdom. So last night, God woke me up in the middle of the night, and that's all I heard was godly wisdom. And so I just wrote it down in my notebook beside my bed and went back to sleep. And this morning he said, "You're going to do your teaching on godly wisdom." And I said, I can't because I'm not qualified to do a teaching on godly wisdom. So I'm sitting here and I'm arguing with God. Well, if you've ever argued with God before, and I have found myself to do this quite a few times, I'm ashamed to say, he wins every time. I shouldn't say I'm ashamed to say it. I think it's kind of funny, but I'm sure a lot of you on here can resonate with that maybe you've had an argument with God about something and you're like, no, I'm not doing that, or I'm not saying that. But then you end up doing it because he's always right. So I'm going to give you a couple of scriptures, and I just have a little bit written down about godly wisdom this morning. Proverbs 9:10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." All right, so we should probably break this down a little bit. What is the fear of the Lord? John Bevere has a great book out, and it's called The Awe of God. And the awe of God is the fear of God. It doesn't mean that we're scared of God. It means that we are in such awe of him that we want to be like him. We want to move in the way that he moves. So when you think of it that way, it sounds a little bit better than I have to be scared of God. I am not scared of God. What I am scared of is not following his direction. And I think that maybe that's why he told me this morning that I do have godly wisdom. Because when I looked up the definition, godly wisdom is understanding and applying truth from a God-centered perspective, leading to actions that reflect Christ's character. It's not just about acquiring knowledge, but about aligning one's life with God's will and purpose. This wisdom is a gift from God, received through prayer, humility, and a commitment to his teachings. Well, okay. Once I read that, I was like, all right, maybe I do have godly wisdom. Because this is the most important thing to me at this time of my life, is aligning my life with God's will, doing what he wants me to do. I ask him every day, what do you want me to do? What do you think about this? How should I respond to this person? That is how I begin my conversations with him, and he starts talking to me. I pray. I try very hard not to be prideful. And I'm very committed to his teachings. I'm very committed to reading the Bible every day. I am committed to reading other books that I have an interest in that align with the Bible. So other books that are biblical, I guess I should say. So anything like that is part of godly wisdom. And so I was pretty happy to hear and to understand that. So I even got that revelation just this morning, just so you all know. You don't have to be like completely wise or anything to do this. You kind of just have to go where God wants you to go. And that's what I do. I go exactly where he wants me to go. I do exactly what he wants me to do. I had something else prepared for today, and he totally took me off of that course onto this course, because he knew that this is what somebody out there watching needed to hear. Godly wisdom is a gift from God. I think that that's really important to understand. This is not something that you can just pray for one time and get and not do anything about it. You have got to pray to him. You have got to read the Bible. If you don't know the Bible, then you can't have his wisdom, because he is the Bible. The Bible is the truth. So although he gives us these gifts, we have to show that we want these gifts. We have to be passionate about it. We have to want what he is really what we're doing. We're wanting to be more like God. Solomon, who is King Solomon, who was King David's son, God appeared to him in a dream, and God asked him, "What do you want?" And he said, "I want wisdom. I want your wisdom." And so God granted him riches and success in the kingdom and all kinds of things, because all he asked for was wisdom. Proverbs 16:16 states, "How much better to get wisdom than gold." That is how important wisdom is. And think about the great part about wisdom is once you have that, you can teach others about it. You can, well, not even teach. You just give your wisdom to others by the things that you're doing. So all the generations down from you, they're watching you. Sometimes we think that they're not, but they are. They are watching us. So when we are showing godly wisdom, they are going to automatically have this in their mind. Just like in my last life when I was partying a lot, they had that in their mind. I had to not only reteach myself, but then I had to teach my children to understand how people change. And I didn't do that by sitting there and saying, well, mom's different now. Mom's not the same anymore. I didn't have to do that. They saw that. They saw that wisdom come out of me. They saw that lifestyle change come out of me. And I'm going to tell you, life is better than ever, because when you start going down God's ways, he blesses you, and he blesses you big. And I'm not talking about money, but he makes sure that you're provided for. He makes sure that you have everything that you have. And then he just takes you down this road of exactly where you're supposed to go. And it's wonderful. I'm doing things that I would never think that I would have done a few years ago, all because I stopped a different lifestyle and I started listening to God. I started reading his book. I started worshiping him. I started praying to him, asking him questions. Who am I? Who do you want me to be? What road do I go down next? And I don't make decisions on my own anymore. I stop and I ask him. And if I forget to do that, you can tell. I can totally tell. I'm like, I don't think I asked God about that. That's why I feel so off balance in this, because he's never going to make you feel off balance. He's never going to cause confusion. Confusion comes from the devil. He's never going to cause you to go down the wrong road. That is from the devil. He may have you go down a road that you have to learn from, that might not be easy, that you have to like barrel your way through and learn these lessons through so you can get to the other end of where he wants you to be. He may give you that, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's life. That's how we become better at life. So today I pray blessings over every person that is watching this today. And I pray that you ask God for godly wisdom for yourself so that you can walk down the road he has for you. Have a blessed day, everybody.